You were never meant to be human. That's the truth no one ever told you. Not when you were born, not when you were trained, not even when you began to change. Your name is Albert Wesker, but even that was never truly yours. You were created as part of a vision, a long-term experiment led by a man named Oswell E. Spencer, a man who believed humanity was flawed, weak, incomplete. He wanted something better, and you were one of his answers. You weren't raised like other children. There was no normal life, no childhood memories filled with warmth, only structure, only discipline, only expectation. You were selected for your intellect, enhanced through conditioning, pushed beyond natural limits. You learned faster than others, and most importantly, you learned how to suppress everything unnecessary. Fear, doubt, attachment. They called it training, but what they were really doing was removing everything human and replacing it with something else. From the very beginning, you were told one thing: you are superior. That idea became your identity. You believed it, not because they forced you to, but because it was true. But over time, you started noticing something. Even those who created you feared what they were building. You were a tool. And that realization changed everything, because tools don't control their own future, and you refused to be controlled. So you made a decision. You would rise. You entered Umbrella Corporation, not as a loyal scientist, not as a soldier, as something far more dangerous. An observer, a manipulator, a predator waiting for the right moment. You climbed quickly, efficiently, no mistakes, no hesitation, until you reached the perfect position. Captain of STAR's Alpha Team, Raccoon City. From the outside, you were a protector, a leader, a symbol of authority. But beneath that, you were running your own experiment, because hidden beneath the Spencer mansion was something that changed everything. The T-virus, a biological weapon capable of rewriting life itself. To Umbrella, it was a product. To you, it was proof that Spencer's vision was possible. But theories are meaningless without results. So you created a test. You sent your own team into the mansion, not to rescue anyone, not to contain the outbreak, but to observe. You watched through cameras, through reports. You saw fear, you saw failure, you saw transformation. Humans reduced to instinct, to hunger, to something less, and every second of it was data. But then something unexpected happened. One variable refused to break. Chris Redfield. He adapted, improvised, survived. Against impossible odds, that made him valuable, because if evolution was real, then he was proof it could go both ways. When the moment came, you revealed yourself, not as a captain, as the architect. You released your ultimate experiment. The Tyrant, a perfect weapon, engineered strength, controlled aggression. Everything Umbrella wanted, but perfection is always unstable. The Tyrant turned on you. You felt it, the impact, the force. A claw piercing through your body. Your heart stopped. Your vision faded. For a moment, you experienced something rare, death, but you had already planned for it. Before the mission, you injected yourself with a prototype virus, an unstable strain, but powerful. And instead of dying, you evolved. Your body shut down, then restarted. Cells rewriting themselves, muscle density increasing, reflexes accelerating beyond human limits. You stood up and understood something immediately. From that moment on, everything changed. Umbrella was no longer your employer. It was your resource. You disappeared, working from the shadows, manipulating events, collecting samples. Raccoon City was erased, but that didn't matter, because evolution doesn't need a city. It only needs opportunity. You expanded your reach, used operatives, controlled outcomes. One of them, Ada Wong, efficient, intelligent, unpredictable. She was useful, but never fully controllable. That made her dangerous. But you accounted for that. You always do. But Raccoon City was never your only interest. Somewhere far from the ruins, another opportunity appeared. Rockford Island, an umbrella facility. Isolated, fortified, and hidden deep within it, a new virus. T. Veronica, created by Alexia Ashford. Not just another mutation. Something more refined, more controlled, more dangerous. You didn't hesitate. You deployed your own forces. HCF, not soldiers, not mercenaries. The attack was precise. Explosions tore through the island's defenses. Security collapsed within minutes. Chaos spread through the facility. But you didn't come for destruction. You came for one thing, the virus. You moved through the base as everything fell apart. Fire spreading through corridors. And then you saw it. The result of Alexia's work, not just infection, evolution. For a moment, you almost admired it, but admiration is a weakness. You took what you needed and left the island to burn. Because in your world, progress always demands sacrifice. Your attention shifted to something new, a parasite discovered in a remote region, Las Plagas. Unlike the T virus, hosts remained alive, aware, but no longer free. That was the difference. That was the future. Years passed, the world changed. Bioweapons were no longer secrets. They spread across countries, across organizations. Humanity was already transforming, but not correctly, not efficiently, not under your control. So you decided to accelerate the process. Not in isolation. Globally, your final vision began to form, a new virus. Ouroboros, designed to test the limits of humanity. Most would die, their bodies unable to adapt. But the few who survived would become something greater. A new species. A world purified through evolution. Only the strong, only the worthy. That was your vision. Umbrella was no longer your employer. Chris Redfield, still chasing you, still refusing to accept your truth. Years had changed him, made him stronger, harder, but still human. Your final confrontation was inevitable. It happened in Africa, at the center of your plan. Ouroboros was ready. The world stood on the edge of transformation, and you stood above it. Not as a man, as something beyond it. Your speed surpassed human limits. Your strength was unmatched. Your reactions, instant. You were no longer evolving. You had already evolved. And yet, Chris kept coming. Through your forces, through your experiments, through everything you built. That's what you never understood. Why fight for something so flawed? Why protect weakness? Why resist evolution? The final battle began. You moved faster than he could see, struck harder than he could withstand. You were superior in every way until something changed. The virus inside you began to destabilize. Your body started losing control. The same power that made you superior was tearing you apart. For the first time, you felt something unfamiliar. Not fear, but limitation. Chris saw it, and he acted. No hesitation, no doubt. The end came in fire. Explosions, heat. Your body collapsed, consumed by the very power you tried to control. And just like that, it was over. Or at least, that's what they believe. Because ideas don't die. Evolution doesn't stop, and people like you are never truly gone. Your name is Albert Wesker. You were never human. You were never meant to be. And one day, when humanity faces its next transformation, they will remember one thing. You were not the villain. You were the future.